throw rubbish over the side. And certainly on board ships like the Falcor and the like, all the...
I mean, some of the original stuff was done in the 1800s when the Challenger expedition went around the world. And they used piano wire to collect things off the bottom of the ocean at 4,000, 5,000 metres and pulled it back up. And they did some beautiful illustrations and beautiful descriptions. And a lot of that stuff has never been seen since.
Colonies sort of fringing the tops of the boulder. I think these might be stolasterid hydrocorals. It's definitely the zone that we found them in at Osprey Reef, this sort of 300, 350 metre mark. Quite small, delicate looking, very smooth skeleton. They got this, so I think that's probably what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, Rob. They look like the precious corals, stylasters. So yeah, they're
huge Gorgonian fan corals that seem to jut out from the walls at Osprey Reef. Just wondering if we're going to see anything similar on this dive.
Yeah, that's one of the rock sponges there, lithistid ones. Yeah, that I was talking about with the big matrix of silicon interwoven into each other. Yeah, so
it's quite blowy here, and I imagine you're getting the same.
Yeah, it's I haven't been outside except for this morning, and it was quite breezy. We had a squall come through.
Rock. So this is what we know about the Great Barrier Reef. The top 20 metres or so of coral reef it's only been there since around that sort of 9 to 10,000 year mark when sea level really pushed up. So this is, I'm talking about rock rubble that's probably pushed down from above. It could be sea whips, possibly these black corals. I'd be curious if Jeremy can confirm that. But, these big spiral sea whips starting to appear, sort of corkscrew shape. Of sediment. And on the Great Barrier Reef, we have a big expedition planned with the RV Investigator to go and look at bioherms created by these halimeda flakes. And bioherms is just a fancy word for reef-like creations from marine life that is not coral. So in this case, it's halimeda. It's a green algae. It's very prolific in tropical waters, and when it builds up to such thicknesses that you end up getting these almost reef-like shape, you get with these things called bioherms. And on the Great Barrier Reef has the largest expanse of halimeda bioherm. Yeah, my guess is, Merrick, we're probably seeing a lot to do with how disturbed it is. So if you've got rubble raining down from above, it's highly disturbed. It makes it hard for sessile, rock-attached animals to stay there. And so clearly it's probably got a lot to do with how steep it is. So if it's really steep, over-steepened, the sediment can't build up and suppress life there. So I'd say it's probably got a lot to do with how disturbed that ground is. It seems to be swept clear in places. There's clearly a lot of sediment there. You can see all that background halimeda. It's just raining down from shallower waters above.
I think those whips are stunning, and there's some of the carnivorous sponges look like that as well too. So, how exciting! And that's a great thing about discovery like this. We can get photos of things that have, like I said earlier, that were pulled out of the ocean over 100 years ago, but no one knew what they looked like underwater. And now, for the first time, we can see these things underwater. For example, one of these carnivorous sponges, people pulled out and never realized what it was, and it wasn't until about 10, 20 years ago someone for the first time had proper images of these, and they actually had floating balloons at the end of the arms, and which was actually holding the sponge off the bottom and out of all the detritus. I'm gonna reach out and give it a quick little poke, isn't it?
Don't tempt our pilots, Merrick. I think they've been
Merrick, I
jonesing
have
to
to
use
admit,
those arms.
See the arm come out, yeah. I don't think it'll do what we want to anyway. I think it'll just contract even more.
I think so.
It's what I.
So these are
What I
commatulate feather stars, the yellow, the yellow and the red. These are just sitting there on top of a soft coral. So they're high up in the water column.